It's Jeff Eichen here. Looks like it's big hair day or no hair day. We got Paul, and we got Sotero. So we're really blessed to have our team on board. Today we're going to be talking about the Leonard Peltier trip that's going on in South Dakota this month. And I was going to go, but just things didn't line up properly. So we're going to zoom in there and we're going to teach them how to grow Lakota hemp. And so Lakota hemp is going to be really beautiful. Let's see, we got some people in the waiting room. So we're excited. Looks like Rodimus had his ears lowered. And so we are definitely, and some new spectacle. It's a funny moment in time to bring the humor and joy that it takes to talk about what I talk about. I'm going to make our poster here smaller so you can see me now here.
There you go.
And the poster is talking about Sklor still behind bars, Luke Scarmazzo, who just came out after all this time. And so I'm really blessed to and honored to give a really big round of applause for Luke Scarmazzo. He's in the middle there. And so before we even have a round table, Luke, welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jeff.
Well, buddy boy, it's so bitchin', the word I use since I was a kid, to be part of this, to see that happen. You can see Jeff Mazansky up in the corner there. He's a brother in arms that I filmed in prison. How long were you in and how long have you been out?
I was in nearly 15 years, 14 years and 10 months. And this is day number 12 right here. So it's still fresh. It's still fresh and new.
So I'm going to keep my finger today on the sound effects because we're just so blessed to have success and feel that we're making some momentum. Some of the OGs have told me that it's one step forward, two steps backwards. But when we have a soul, for example, when I went to film Michael Thompson in prison up in Chicago
Michigan.
area, and Jeff Mazansky, the saddest moment in my trip was leaving and knowing that you were still, in there, couldn't grab a pizza, couldn't grab a smoke, instantly or whatever, I heard some awful stories, but it's not about awful stories. It's about that button I have to welcome you home, man. How does it feel? Or can you give us, see, I couldn't ever put it into words, what it felt like. So tell us what it feels like.
Well, I mean, it's surreal. It's like a dream. After being incarcerated that long, you kind of like you forget what freedom's like. Like you have this picture in your head of what it's supposed to be like, right? But that picture was still like 2006. So like my cousins and my nieces and stuff were still like little kids, and now they're grown with their own families. So it's been pretty crazy. Just seeing the world now is like it's like experiencing a new world. It's like being beamed up to like a different planet. And
you mean electric cars and technology?
Yeah, electric cars. There's no CD players. There's no payphones anymore. There's no just all that like little stuff that most people would just kind of step by and take for granted is it's kind of like mesmerizing to me.
That's really amazing. To have spirit is all we can do, really. I've been studying spirit and using plant medicine most of my adult life, and for gosh sakes, you were in jail for a plant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was difficult. It was very frustrating, especially at the beginning of my sentence. Because we always knew that what we were doing was right and what was just, and we saw that it was helping the community. We saw the impact that we were having on people's lives. So to be, punished for that and sentenced to a 22-year sentence for our first time offense, like I'd never been in trouble before. I'd never been in like, just little minor stuff as a kid, but I'd never been like in prison. So like just to get hammered like that on the first time for something that we believe to be, our God-given right and something that was benefiting the community was it was frustrating at the beginning, but I learned to just accept it, accept my position, and that I knew that this was my path that God had put before me, and I had made the decision to just do the best I could.
When I talked to Tommy Chong, he was in jail, not for the duration, but he was in prison. He said
Yeah.
knowing that there were loved ones out amongst the, waiting for you is what got him through.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My daughter was one of my biggest inspirations. I mean, when I was incarcerated, when I was found guilty at trial, she was like 5 years old, and she's 20 years old now. So just seeing like the unwavering support that she continued to have for me and waited for me and came to visit me, and a lot of times when a young teenage girl would probably rather be at the mall or shopping or doing kids do. She was in a prison visiting room eating frozen burritos with me. So, it was her that kind of really got me through it. The whole community. I mean, the just huge support from the entire cannabis community was huge. They would write me letters all the time, and there was some dark days in there where I would have to kind of go back to some of the letters and just get re-inspired to just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
At Hempfest, we had you on stage with us every
Yeah, I
Hempfest.
saw that. That was
Yeah,
awesome. That
yeah,
was awesome.
we had you at Hempfest every Hempfest. We were all carrying signs,
Yeah.
and so we've never forgotten any of you prisoners. So tell us a little bit about the children that you know. Were they bullied at school for their daddy being in jail for pot, or just it was a sad moment to not grow up with their daddy and have to see him in
Yeah.
prison? But it maybe make them stronger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely made her. She's an amazing girl now. Amazing young woman. She had a difficult time though. She was raised in a single parent household. She's a child of mixed race. So growing up, kids can be mean at school, and so, but she always she would write me these letters that would say things like, I know my dad's not in jail for something bad and stuff like that. And this was coming from like a, 7-year old. So, even she had a grasp of like the injustice that was going on to myself personally and to our family, that she had to endure. So she's really like a strong young lady. She's amazing, super independent. Like, everything happens for a reason. And I think that this hardship kind of prepared her for the, tough obstacles that life faces.
So, just as we go through life and we meet people like yourself and we talk for the first time together and we're sharing with the world what it feels like to be a dad in prison and now out and sharing the joy and the frustrations of it all, we're sharing the inside story, everybody. We're here today with Luke Scarmazzo. He was in jail for 15 years. And was that for a legal store that you had? I heard there was a medical store, and
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah. It was for a state legal dispensary. We had our license from the city, our license from the state, or a permit from the state. We paid all of our taxes. So it was definitely a frustrating thing because this is something that the state allowed us to do, and the federal government came in and said no. So
And now that we have your story that was unbelievably wrong, black and white, let's after the show connect deeper, and I'd like to do a legacy episode with you by yourself so you can tell us more in detail, and we can start to share that with the world about the injustice of three strikes or of incarceration for nonviolence.
absolutely, I'd love to do it.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Well, everybody, welcome aboard, everybody. I'm going to get to everybody so they can ask Luke their one small favorite short question. But I'm going to get. We haven't even run my trailer yet, so I'm going to run my trailer and our intro. And everybody, take a deep breath. Welcome Luke home. My favorite button of the day is right here, and that's. So we're really happy to have you, Luke, and welcome home. And I'm going to share my screen and give
This is not live on YouTube. You are not live on YouTube yet, Jeff. Sorry to bother you.
Okay, so I'm going to, well, but that's important for you to tell me. So thank you so much. So here we go with our trailer, everybody. As we go back in our memories of all of the OGs we have ever met, we remember where we've been. Radiotron, Ice-T. My path has been so blessed with so many people, and now we have the new Green Farmy. We're going to end Prohibition, everybody. Let's get this party started. Parade. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Somewhere it's breakfast somewhere. So hope you're doing well, everybody. Welcome home, Luke Scarmazzo. And we have Donald Fugit coming in June. And we have Leonard Peltier on the deck, up to bat. Come home, Leonard. So let's get a show going. Hemp Hemp Hooray. So that's really beautiful to have the opportunity, everybody, to have Luke Scarmazzo here. I am also going to be playing my trailer for our movie about prisoners here for you here. It's just a minute and a half, everybody. I made this trailer last night.
Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind.
It's not that easy.
Right.
And I have to reflect back on my transition. Right. So the first thing we advocate for, number one, you just got to just stop the war on drugs. Just stop fighting it, end prohibition.
Spending this time in prison means getting that done. Then I'll be worth it. The right to have freedom.
Right.
Do we really have it now? I don't think so.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for coming today. Thank you for giving people like me a voice. This is Kirsten for Lifers, the movie. Free the people, free the planet.
And lifers?
Absolutely.
They should be able to grow it, have it, and...
They should be able to grow it. They should be able to cultivate it, grow it from seed, grow it from cloning. They should be able to have as much as they want of it, zero restrictions and regulation from any government entity whatsoever.
And prohibition now?
Prohibition should be eliminated. All laws on the books should be stricken, and it should be a non-issue.
And all prisoners?
As long as they're not violent offenders, let them go.
Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind.
Please, President Biden, before leaving office, grant clemency to all of our plant prisoners and nonviolent prisoners. We now have proof, President Biden, that We are winning. So many states are legalizing hemp and marijuana for paper, fiber, fuel, medicine, and food. And now, hempcrete to build homes. Let's end this prohibition now. Hemp Hooray, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen here with Luke Scarmazzo. So, I'm actually putting that, my film, cut down version in a hemp cannabis film festival in Colorado. And so we got that in under the wire last night at midnight. And
Awesome.
And welcome home, Luke. Yeah, it's time. Maybe we'll have you in a film project, and we'll be the spokespeople globally to not let people rot in jail.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very powerful trailer. I like that. And obviously it's a issue that hits very close to home with me. There shouldn't be anybody in there for cannabis, and I'm not going to stop fighting until every one of them are home.
Your right arm. Here's my right arm. Right arm. So everybody give a round of applause for Luke. Let me see. Did we lose Pamela? We got Pamela on board. Pamela, can you come on board? Pamela, can we have you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, come on up, Pamela. Pamela is our connection to the Leonard Peltier clan. Leonard's been in jail for 47 years, Luke.
Terrible.
48 years. 48 years.
Absolutely disgusting.
I'm a member of the International Leonard Peltier Defense Committee, but I'm also a co-founder of an Indigenous-ran nonprofit called People of the Confluence. And one of the things we do with one of our planting root programs is hemp education. Hemp as an agriculture. So all of those things are really important. And
Yes.
Free Leonard Peltier. Free Leonard.
Absolutely. Free Leonard,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, so in a couple of weeks, they're going to be going down to South Dakota, and they're going to be doing the march that happens once a year. This is the 50th anniversary for Wounded Knee, where Leonard was accused of, something he didn't do. And so you know how that goes. And so, bravo, thank you so much, Pamela, and we're so blessed to have you and to be friends with you. And I hope to see you Monday on this side of the Washington State. Over at Justin's, we're going to be working for you to get you a great class. And Luke, maybe it's time we design something for ex-prisoners, maybe that they can be teaching and preaching, and we'll be able to even go maybe zoom you into to things that the indigenous people are doing to plant Lakota hemp and sovereign hemp on their land, and teach the children that it's not a bad plant.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to participate and contribute in any way that I can. Those are
All right. Well, let's talk after the show. Actually, let's hook up and see what we can do about joining some of our workshops.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great to have Luke do talk to the children and say, hey, I'm proof there is life after prison, blah blah blah, because I just know that there's, the Jim Crow, where there's so many black, brown, and Native, in disproportion in jail. So thank you, both of you. I'm glad.
Actually, I like to say IPOC, Indigenous, and people of color. I'm trying to change that. Indigenous people are disproportionately incarcerated, higher than any other ethnicity in what is now the United States. And I just want to put my people, we were the first people. We were here before our black brothers and sisters, and we're still here. We've been here for millennia upon millennia. And only in the last 500 years have we suffered homelessness, incarceration, and the loss of our freedoms. Just have to say that.
It's so wonderful to have spokespeople, persons like yourself, Pamela and Luke. Now we're going to throw you up there on the throne and have you be a poster child. And when we do public engagements, we'll have you there. And everybody, on my picture here, I have High Times gave me the GoFundMe link for Luke's raising money. So all these years he hasn't been able to make any. So go fill his coffers, give him some food money, and so he can buy that iPhone 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or now 15 because you've been in jail for 15 years. Welcome home, Luke. And I want to read something, everybody, before we get to a couple more people up on stage here. This just in. This is news from Amy Pova from the Can Do Clemency. Amy helps inside some incredible things in D.C. and she's working with the Weldon Project and
Beautiful sister, beautiful.
All these
she does
beautiful.
So much good work.
Wendy, yeah. Amy is a wonderful soul, and she's normally on a day like this a guest host, but maybe we'll have all the ladies here be guest hostesses today with the mostesses. And so I'm going to read you what Amy had to say because she couldn't make it today. And so it says, this just in from Amy Pova, the director of the Can Do Clemency. Everyone, please congratulate Donald Fugit. God is working overtime to bring home the pot prisoners. Donald Fugit just got his halfway house date. His mom, Carla Lunsford, called and we were screaming for joy. To God be the glory and congrats of the entire family, but especially to Carla, who has been his #1 advocate. Also, huge thanks to Freedom Grow to put money on Donald's books and everyone who has helped Donald his homecoming and proof, and Professor Miller, who wrote his compassionate release that unfortunately the judge would not grant even though Donald was qualified. But it's all in the rear view mirror now. Hemp hooray, Amy, Can Do, and Donald coming home in June. And wait, I got
like that, yeah. Freedom Grow forever.
I got my Freedom Grow shirt on, everybody. So let's go into a different view here. Thank you so much, Pamela. We'll be looking for you and assisting you all the way, and we're going to all network. So I got the whole clan up on stage here. Let's go with the furthest away first. Let's talk to Eric Boone. Eric, say congratulations to Luke.
Hey, Luke. Yeah, congratulations from all of us at Seattle Hemp Fest.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I myself am grew up in Modesto, so water, and health. So yeah, little hometown pride to have you back. So welcome.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that, especially coming from a Modesto brother.
Well, Luke, Eric is now running the spearheading and leading the charge with HempFest, and HempFest is a Seattle-run event, 30 years running. But COVID put a bash on everybody. God said, "Go to your room and contemplate." Think about everything. So we had time to rework everything. So a smaller event will happen this year, and I'll bet you $10 I'm going to see you there.
Oh yeah.
I want my $10. So Eric, congratulations on your position with HempFest and for your Modesto family coming home. Yeah, hemp hooray. So there we go. The next furthest away.
Just to jump on my soapbox really quickly too, because I mean, I spent probably the 16 years growing up. Like I graduated from Downey. I think you graduated from Downey as well too, Luke. Yeah. So
I went to Downey, but Bayer is where I ended graduating. But yeah.
That's interesting because I actually lived in the Bayer district, and all my friends ended up going to Bayer, and then we moved to the Downey district at the last minute. So I was over at Bayer all the time. Like, I cross-pollinated between those two myself. But yeah, like Modesto was just a really like that whole Central Valley was just a really bad area for like for a lot of really bad drugs and opioid addiction and stuff like that. And to have access to medical cannabis is like such a, I mean, it's beyond, to say it's a community service is to underplay exactly how important it was in the context of that particular community. So the outrageous injustice that was done to Luke is just like it's beyond measure. Because I think you were genuinely doing that particular community great service, brother. So I'm really sorry that that shit went down, and I'm really really happy that at least that's in the rearview mirror. So
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Hey, hey, hey. The next furthest away, France. Come on in, Rodimus, and welcome Mr. Scarmazzo home.
Hey, hi. Luke, thanks for being here tonight with us, sharing your presence with us. Congratulations on your freedom. Um, I think you're going to do a lot of good now that you're out. I can feel your will and your energy, and you're already here, and you're encouraging everybody here to keep doing the work they're doing. So thank you for that. I wanted to ask you, you seem like a very nice person. You have a really sweet attitude and a great smile. And wanted to ask you, man, if you don't mind sharing with us, like when you were in prison and you got put in there for such an unjust thing and so railroaded, and you knew you were being used as a pawn, for political, agendas and stuff like that. How, if you don't mind, I know it's kind of personal, but it's also universal too, I think. Share with us if you feel comfortable. Of course, I don't want to force you to do anything. How you coped with how did you keep your good attitude? How did you manage to stay a good person in prison? What were the things that you mentioned your daughter being really helpful to you? What are some of the other things that you internally worked with that allowed you to keep your spirits and your buoyancy and your hope, together?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is really challenging, and there was some times that were way more difficult than others. But it was God. The great creator of all. Prayer and meditation was so key to me being able to just stay focused, stay centered, stay balanced with all the chaos and madness that was going on around me. When you start out in the federal system with a long sentence, a multiple decade sentence, you usually start out at some of the higher security levels, the maxes and the mediums and stuff like that. And there's a lot of going on there. There's a lot of challenges. There's violence. There's fights. There's suicides, murders. Assaults, and these things are all going on around you. And so you have to be able to lean on God, and just the community was huge too. My family. I mean, it really wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? It was everybody around me. It was everybody around me. The entire cannabis community. The shirt that Jeff has, Freedom Grow. Those ladies are awesome. They Stephanie advocated for me before it was even Freedom Grow. Back when she had a organization called the Land of Prison Outreach Project. So everybody that was my supporters. Like, it was so inspiring to be able to know that, like, all these people have me. They got my back. And just like I said, just God, prayer, meditation, just continue to kind of get me over the problems. I had like an overview of all of them. So that those things were all key and so instrumental in me being able to keep my mind and keep my sanity and make it out today.
Well, we're really grateful you're here. I'm sure your family's super happy to have you back too, man. And well, anyway, I just can't imagine what that must have been like. But clearly, you went in with something whole, and you got out intact as well, and that's testimony to you, brother. So,
yeah, thank you, Ben. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's go to who else is furthest away? Paul. Come on in, Paul, and say hello to Luke and welcome him home. Thank you, Rodimus.
Glad you're home. You said day 12.
Day 12, yeah.
It's a big deal. I mean, I don't even know if I have a question. I just want to say that I'm so glad you made it through. I like how you described how you made it through prayer. I mean, I don't know how else you could make it through.
Yeah.
I don't know how else it could be done. I don't know. I just want to, it's like come to my heart now to just throw this out there if you wanted to consider it. Like you're fresh out. If you wanted to work with us, you got an open door here to work with us. We could teach you how to do what we do. You'd have to grab an email and a cell phone, but I think your daughter and set up some social media profiles. And I'm sure all of our young kids. I have a 22-year-old and a 32-year-old, so they know how to do things. But you don't even have to learn it; they'll do it for you and show you how to do it. But yeah, that's the truth. And Jeff was teasing us earlier before you came in about everybody being hairy, big hair, and I'm the odd man out. So I'm glad I'm not.
I'm with you.
I got a room full of allies, but
we got our pro bowlers and we got big hair today.
That's funny. That's awesome.
But
I'll put my information in the chat, and if you want to call, no pressure. You don't have to, but if you want to explore working with us, we will invest a lot of time in you, and it's not hard. It's easy. We finance cannabis. We don't have to finance. We finance any industry. Cannabis is one of them, but we finance bulldozers and semi trucks. And if you wanted to explore that, just call me. You'll have my information, and I'd love to work with you. And I'm just glad that you're out enjoying freedom and you got the ability to move around and do things and not be scheduled and confined. And
yes,
that's it, man. I'm glad you're out.
Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that, and I'll definitely reach out to you after the show.
Fantastic. How about Sotero? Come on in and say hey to the man of the hour. I got you on front screen here.
Hi, Luke. Welcome home. I'm in Southern California. I'm presuming you're up in Northern California. Central California?
Yes, sir. Modesto.
Nice. Right on. As a non-convicted participant in the cannabis industry for 40 years, I must say that the only difference between you and myself right now is that you had to endure prison and a conviction. And for that, every time I dealt with any type of cannabis, whether it was legal, illegal, gray market, black market, white market, it was always in the back of my mind about the federal government. And so you actually engage in it head on. And
I'm looking around when that happens.
It's on my phone.
So anyway, I just wanted to interject that, as a Californian that's been involved, all the incarcerated people are always on the minds of all of us that are in the business that have been around for decades. That was part of the job back then. And every time you strapped yourself into a job that you participated in, whether it was at a dispensary or transporting it, we tip our hat to those that got caught and are in there. We feel for you empathetically is what I'm trying to say. So I just knock on wood that I hadn't had to participate in as much as you had to endure. I couldn't even imagine being incarcerated for any amount of time for a plant, for something that shouldn't be regulated as it is. And for that, I just want to apologize for the American people with their government having the power to do that to other people, including yourself. So that's basically it. Welcome home. Thank you for your service. Really.
Thank you, Sotero. I appreciate that. And, there's no need to apologize, though. That was my path. That was my path that God laid before me. I think now that I can speak and be a voice to all the other people that are still incarcerated for cannabis, to the industry, people like yourself. And I don't think I would have been able to do that beforehand. I mean, I was always the advocate, obviously, even before I began the dispensary. I mean, I was very outspoken. You could kind of see that in my music video, I guess. But, you know, going through the kind of ordeal that I went through made me a better person. And it made me a person to where now I can find my path. It's more illuminated now for me. And I can continue to kind of go in there and make a positive impact, not only on my community, but on the greater community, the larger community. So I'm really excited for these like next few months, few years, to be able to just like take what I learned, take what I went through, and kind of just turn that into love and positivity and spread it to everybody.
Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. So, Miss Freedom Grow here. Let's unmute Miss Freedom Grow. Yay, hemp hemp hooray. And we are going to give applause for welcoming Luke home. And Stephanie, give a shout out to Mr. Luke.
Hi, Luke.
Hey, what's up, sis?
This is Stephanie.
Yeah. I think you're breaking up a little.
I really said hi to you.
Luke, say hi to.
I got bad reception where I am, but I'll call you at home.
Stephanie, we want to thank you so much for. We want to thank you so much for all you do, Stephanie. And it's okay that you don't have your sound on. We just want to honor you for the lifetime of work that you're doing. That is selfless, you know, and so powerful, and the Valentines and the Christmas cards and the commissary money. We're so proud of you, and to have you here with Luke today just opens my heart. Every time a prisoner comes home, my heart opens more, cracked a little bit more.
I'm fucking away. I understand. I'm trying to get home.
So we are home. Luke is home, and so
Yeah.
in the spirit of things, say hey to Stephanie and give her some props.
Yeah, like I said, Steph is like my sis. She advocated for me before anybody really. She was one of my first advocates, like way back. I think Steph could probably confirm this, but I think it was like 2010, like, you know, just a year or two after I started my sentence. And she's been there in my corner ever since then. And then she started Freedom Grow, which, listen, those ladies over there do great work. Randy as well. I can't say enough good things about them. They are like, you know, they compete against a lot of other organizations that got a lot more funding, a lot more things going, like, you know, resources and stuff like that. But they are tremendous. They are a force to be reckoned with. They continue to inspire all the cannabis prisoners that are in there, everybody that's incarcerated for cannabis. They send commissary money, letters, pictures, newsletters. I mean, I could take the rest of the show talking about freedom for real. That's how special that they are.
Wait, look what I'm wearing. I've got I have to do the dance here, you know. So, you know, there you go. So
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's just so beautiful to be part of this family. And every Wednesday, everybody, we have Weeds Day, and we sometimes are blessed to have incredible humans that were, I'm talking were, in prison for a plan. And we're going to work the rest of my life to release all of them to end prohibition. We also have Donald Fugit, which is, he just got his papers to be put in a halfway house in June, I believe.
Yes.
June 1st.
June 1st. So Amy Pova, who's not with us today, gave us that. I read her little blurb that she posted on Facebook. And so welcome home, everybody. And Lance Glore and the rest of you incredible humans that are still in there. And women. There's some women in jail for pot, is there not, Stephanie?
Yes, sir.
Yes. We only have one on our list, but I was there.
Oh,
Yeah, Steph was there. Diane just got granted compassionate release, I believe, earlier in 2022. Yeah, we can't forget about our sisters either. There's women in there that are paying the penalty that a lot of other people are paying, and it's really tough in there for women who are incarcerated. So, I definitely want to give them a shout out and some recognition.
And their grandmothers and Diane Marquez, right?
Yes.
Diane, I believe, if I've got the story right, she gave birth in prison.
Yeah, I don't really know the details about that. I did hear that as well. Diane, I'm sure would be the better person to talk about that. But I know
She's been on the show. She's been on.
Oh, great. Yeah, I actually Weed Maps did a weed museum. It was probably back in 2019 now, I think. And Diane was honored there with myself, and they had a great exhibit for us. So I was really happy to see her get out.
Well, we're so proud of you all. We're proud of Weed Maps, Leafly, all the people in the industry that are rooting to end prohibition and bring home people that are, including Leonard Peltier, that are in prison for all these frickin' days, years, and minutes without their freedom.
Yeah.
Without their freedom. Well, thank you, Stephanie, for all you do, and we honor you. Here's our award for you, a hemp heart here. Forever. And why don't we let's see, why don't we go to Ashley? Ashley, come on up and say congratulations to Luke.
Congratulations, Luke. Welcome home, buddy.
Ashley.
So happy to have you home.
I couldn't figure out where we were, so I just.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. It's awesome to see you finally.
Of course.
Ashley,
yes,
actually,
to see you, Jeannie 420, as you know.
I remember when I was in the Max Penitentiary, and I had wrote a poem, and Ashley offered to read it on video for me. So that was super special. I got a special connection with Ashley.
No, it was a beautiful poem, and I needed everyone to hear your words and understand exactly where you were and what you were going through. And I'm so happy that you get to join us now and become the voice and be heard everywhere and have your own words spoken and to say them freely. And I'm just so happy for you. And of course, we will never, ever forget the work of Freedom Grow Forever, Stephanie, all of you. You're just so wonderful. Amy, you're my heroes, our heroes and heroes. Love you ever so much. And we're here to do whatever we can. I am a Canada nurse intern, and I have new patients, new MMJ patients, including pets. And I can tell you that it's a new world for sure, but the medicinal value of this plant is being unleashed every day. And we're leaps and bounds from where we were before. You were in jail for being a healer, not a dealer. And that's the most unspeakable crime that you can put against humanity. And we must put an end to it. And I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad you're on this side of it. I just want to celebrate, and I just want to be happy and joyous and give God all the praise. Thank you ever so much to everyone that made it happen. And let's keep going, because we've got a lot more to do, don't we? Yes. All free in 2023.
Hey, everybody free in 23. Luke Scarmazzo, everybody, is gofund.me/C as in Charlie, 9, D as in David, A as in Apple, 4, Edward 7. So that's a GoFundMe link. Throw Luke some commissary money, some money for paying his phone bill and all that stuff. There's no time to not tell the truth anymore, everybody. It's a good time to tell the truth, and we're staring at it in our face. We're so blessed to have Luke home. And my favorite, what's my favorite button of the day? Yeah, now. but I also have a glockenspiel. Does everybody know what a glockenspiel is?
Mm-mm. Okay. Yeah.
There's the glockenspiel
Voila.
for coming home and having freedom. We have one more person in our roundabout here. Crazy Pop Mom, come on. Do you have and say hello to Luke? Do you have anything from Breezy today?
I actually don't.
Okay, so we'll
I
just.
wish he would have said something earlier. I would have made him give me something. I want to say welcome home because, like, that's gotta be just still so surreal. Like when you wake up and stuff like that. I can only imagine. So everybody's always gonna ask you stuff like the serious things of what you missed, your family, blah, 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 blah. That's all. But I want to know, what's the silliest thing? Like, you were like, I cannot believe that I'm even wishing that I could have that, do that, or whatever. What was the silliest thing that you missed?
This is going to sound crazy, but touching the bark of a tree. There's no trees in prison. So, like, I missed trees. I missed just being able to like walk up and touch the trunk of a tree and the bark of a tree and just feel that texture and feel the, life in a tree. And I missed that for that whole time. So like there would be years that I would go by and think like, man, I can't wait to just touch the trunk of a tree and just feel that.
Tree. Yeah. No, I gasped because I lost my pet just last week. So when I was having a hard time dealing with it, I went to a tree. No. And I was like, I feel like the tree can help me if I just ask the tree in a certain way. So that's why I gasped, because I was like, yeah, I couldn't even imagine trying to get through some of that shit without my tree right now. Like, legit. I now have a tree that I go to because I was like, well, now I got to thank the tree. Because it only took me a few days to be able to get, like, I'm crying out, but to get my shit together. But it would have taken me so much longer, I think, if I wouldn't have asked the earth and my own spiritual tree, I guess you'd say. But yeah, I definitely couldn't even imagine that. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And welcome home. And your kid has got to be over the moon.
Yeah, she definitely is. One of the things actually that her and I are going to go do is there's a place up here I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with called Calaveras Big Trees. And it's just a majestic area that has these 1,000-year-old giant redwoods, and I just want to go over there and just experience it with her and reconnect with nature and stuff like that. So thank you for welcoming me home. I appreciate that so much, and look forward to it. Yeah,
so cool.
That's lovely. Yeah, you need to share that story once you get to see the trees. You need to share that.
Definitely.
Maybe I'll come down to the big redwoods and we'll film you telling your story at the redwoods.
That would be awesome. Be awesome.
Yeah, because I want to tell the story of all the freed prisoners, and we're planning to do a big concert, stadium concert, and have all the prisoners walk through the audience and come up on stage, and then we're going to sing all day long. We're going to raise some money for you, and these are my big lofty dreams, but if I don't speak them, they won't come to reality. We got Sotero, we got Rodimus, we got Paul, we got our little baby team that helped to bring you home. Remember, you said that there's other organizations that are competing. I think they're not competing. They're just more fortunate to have a little bit more fuel in their tank than we do.
That's true.
And so we're going to all join forces here now as one cannabis reform freedom movement, and we're going to all get to stage and have you out there. And then my question to you, Luke, what do you have to say to Mr. Biden?
I got a lot to say to Mr. Biden, actually. I know that the administration and the President Biden supports justice. I know that that's important to them. I know and understand that they made a campaign promise that nobody would be incarcerated for cannabis, that their records should be zeroed out, I believe was the exact language. And I want the president to continue to keep that promise. I know they did some pardons for some simple possessions back in October, but that wasn't what we were looking for. That's great. That's a incremental step, but we need everybody home, and we need these laws changed. We need to stop incarcerating people for nonviolent cannabis offenses. We need to respect the state's laws when they pass them for cannabis regulation, and to be able to have a market for cannabis, and to just, free the people that are incarcerated. And this is in federal prison. Biden called on the state governors to do the same, but I'm calling on Biden to do that in the federal system. There's thousands of people that are serving nonviolent cannabis offenses in federal prison, and they need to be home. There's kids and children that are being raised without a mother or father because of a nonviolent cannabis offense, and that's just wrong. It's wrong on so many levels, and I hope that the president, long before he leaves office, as soon as possible, uses that clemency power and that commutation power, and release all the prisoners, and pardon everybody who's out. And we need to get expungement onto his desk, and we need him to sign it.
I put that in my trailer I sent off to the Cannabis Film Festival, and that's my 2-minute trailer. It says, "Please, Mr. Biden," in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our lifetime. And from your mouth to God's ears and everything. Everybody, we're at the top of the hour. We're with Luke Scarmazzo. And why don't we get Eric? Eric, are you still with us, Eric Boone? Eric Boone, why don't you give us some wrap up here? Give us a welcome and a wrap up in between your lunch bites there, and say final words to Luke.
Yeah, sorry, I'm actually here in Lisbon, Portugal, Luke. We're in the process of trying to scale a Hempfest overseas, so I'm trying to grab a little bit of dinner before it's time to put the kids to bed. But
no problem.
My apologies for the mouthful. But no, just no additional closing thoughts. I mean, like I said, water, wealth, contentment, health. So
yeah,
it's just great to have you back. Like Jeff had mentioned earlier, Hempfest, we're back in the park this year. For the last 3 decades, we've been a leading voice in the repeal of cannabis prohibition. And if it's possible to get you up north to grace our stage, our Hemposium, Freedom Forum, it'd be fantastic. So let's. I actually think we connected on Facebook, so I'd love to touch base with you offline, either that way or maybe Jeff could connect us, and I'd love to talk with you more about it.
Sure. Yeah, without a doubt. Well, Hemp Hooray, Eric, thank you for holding down the Euro and our Hempfest contingent. Where I'm gonna win my $10, and we'll see Luke at Hempfest for sure. And so love you all. Let's see who else is on the board of directors here. Do we have Mr. France on here to give a final hello to Luke here? Are you with us, Rodimus?
I am.
Give us a little shout out to Luke and your farewell and welcome home at the same time.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jeff, for that opportunity. I connected with Luke. I had the question I needed to ask earlier. I appreciate your taking that question, Luke. You're a man of great courage. You've been through a lot. I know that it's made you stronger, right? And you leaning on a higher power obviously helped you, like you mentioned, and I think all of us can accept that there's something bigger than us that's out there that has our back, and that is a wind beneath our wings if we just acknowledge it, and your testimony to that. That's really all it's not about me tonight. It's about you, man. And we're very grateful and honored to have you here. And so thanks for showing up. Thanks for just, wow, man, for enduring and surviving. And now you're going to be giving back. Well, how do I say this? You need to be given back too. Somebody needs to give back to you, man. But you already know that the formula works the other way. And so I'm very excited about what you're going to be able to do. for the community and for the other people who haven't been able to leave yet. So really appreciate what I know you're going to do. And that's all I want to say, man. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for having me. And I look forward to it, man. I look forward to the work that we have ahead of us. And let's get to it.
Everybody unmute, and we'll just have a big old giant Hollywood squares here. Sotero, say goodbye to and hello, goodbye and welcome home to Luke.
Out here. Am I lost? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Sotero. Yes, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Luke. Welcome home again. Enjoy the rest of this glorious sunshine that we have here in Southern California. Rodimus, nice to see you again. Jeffrey, thank you, and to everyone else, nice to meet you.
Thank you, Sarah.
And everybody, hold up 3 fingers for our thank you poster here. Hold up 3 fingers for Weed. That's our new peace sign. Yes, we go. 1, 2. Let me see if I can get me in there. Good. Okay, we got it. And Paul, say your hellos and party on.
I just want to say it's really nice to meet you, and I don't know you. We've talked on the Zoom, but what I can really see is that you didn't come out of this bitter. You didn't come out of this hopeless. Like, I see a bright smile on your face, and that's even so much better, man. I don't cry on TV. I don't cry around other people, but I'm almost there. So that's all I got to say. I'm just happy for you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that, man.
Crazy Pop Mom?
I'm just glad you're home. I'm so excited for you and your family, and we just need to get more people out, and that's what we're here for.
Yes, I agree, and I'm with you.
And from Mr. Fresh, Jeff Eichen here, we're on WEEDSDAYS. Some days we teach, some days we preach, but we like to teach and help everybody. Each one teach one. And Luke Scarmazzo GoFundMe page, find it wherever you can. Sorry we're not on on YouTube today. Our StreamYard didn't make it, but I'm a one-man show, so I don't have a back office to fix us up really fast. And on our way to the universe with HempFest, and maybe you'll see us on stage with Luke and Jeff Mazansky and the rest of the prisoners and Snoop. So we're planning a concert. Everybody look out for us. Look for our drops. We're going to be raising funds for the Relief Project to give it to Stephanie so she can allocate it to the prisoners. And Stephanie's our fantastic, famous friend from, wait a minute, drum roll please. Freedom Grow.
Yeah.
Freedom Grow t-shirt, there it is. Freedom Grow t-shirt. So everybody, welcome in your hearts, Luke home. And on the 4th week of every month, we do World 420 Day. We take 42 seconds to close our eyes and visualize everybody coming home. We got Donald Fugit, we got Leonard Peltier. We had quite a show today. I'm going to roll out of here. My final words are Hemp Hemp Hooray, and myself is, my empathy for you is, I can't imagine. And every time I do what I do, I walk away and I just feel a crack in my heart opening a little bit. What was that song? A crack in the to let the light in,
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Cohen.
Yeah. What was that? What was that line in the movie?
That was it.
Huh?
That was it.
A crack in the wall to let the light in, or something like that.
Yeah. Every crack let the light in.
So I'm cracked a little bit today with you, Luke, and so I'm blessed to have you. We'd love to support you in cannabis employment or just more projects, and get your family on when they're ready to be public, and honor you with the highest intentions. And as I learned in some of my walks on life, aho, everybody, and Hemp Hemp Hooray. I'm going to roll out of here with with our little trailer again. Everybody around the world, look, we got a prisoner home, and it's one of our days that we can say, So Luke, we'll be hitting you up later today or tomorrow, and
Awesome.
figure out some projects. And I'm gonna get my $10, Eric, for sure. And
Yeah.
see Luke at HempFest, and everybody, Sotero, Ashley, Paul, Stephanie, and Crazy Pot Mom. Always a welcome home. I'm gonna share my screen now and roll out of here. Luke, you're home. We love you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Jeff.
And my ex used to tell me, when you turn work into play, that's when you win. So this is not work for me. Today is my celebration. And so, Hemp Hooray, everybody. Here we go. We're going to roll out with a share screen here. And here we go. As we go back in our memories of all of the OGs we have ever met, we remember where we've been. Radiotron, Ice-T. My path has been so blessed with so many people, and now we have the new Green Farmy. We're going to end Prohibition, everybody. Let's get this party started. Parade. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Somewhere it's breakfast somewhere. So hope you're doing well, everybody. Welcome home, Luke Scarmazzo. And we have Donald Fugit coming in June. And we have Leonard Peltier on the deck, up to bat. Come home, Leonard. So let's get a show going. Hemp Hooray. So we are so blessed to, like I said, over and over again, to have the energy, the creativity, the flow, to experience Luke Scarmazzo coming home today, this week. 12 days, I guess, is what he said. Is that right, Paul? He said 12 days?
That's right.
12 days. Just think about it, everybody. You've been in jail for, and I'm not laughing, but you've been in jail for more than 12 days. What's 365 times 15? Anybody got a calculator? That's a lot of days.
That's a lifetime.
That's a
It
lifetime.
doesn't even matter how many days that is. It's a lifetime.
One day in jail is a lifetime. I mean, who on this board right here has been in jail? And so I saw the inside for one night, so that's an amazing moment in time. But I've also been in and heard the clank of the door, everybody, when I leave after I film a prisoner. So let's film more. Let's get them home so I don't have to be, begging and scratching the wardens to film nonviolent prisoners. And this is Jeff Eichen loving you all and saying happy Valentine's week. Hug your dog, hug your kitty, send Lucy to the sky with diamonds, with beautiful travels. See you next year, next time. Lucy will be reincarnated for you, Crazy Pod Mom. And Paul, good to see you. Eric, great to see you. Luke, blessings for coming. And we got plans for all the ex-prisoners to come join us at a concert soon, and I'm going to win my $10 to go see Luke at HempFest. So everybody, Hemp Hooray, and thank you, Pamela, for joining us. Pamela came in and joined us to talk about Leonard Peltier and the injustice for the indigenous, and so I'm learning all the new terms, for young people, they, them, me, you, whatever. And so, but we are all one. We are all one, everybody. But I've got 3 for for weed. And love you, everybody. Love you, love you, love you. I'm out of here. I'm going to go paint the stairs, everybody. It's sunny here. So love you, everybody. Peace in the Middle East. Don't forget, GoFundMe for Luke. And sorry about YouTube today, everybody. We'll post one soon. Love you. Bye-bye.